Hi, this is a level 10 type question. You're being asked to find the central angle, and you're given the radius length and you're given the arc length, right? So from everything that you're given, you have to figure out the central angle. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so we need to find the central angle, and we're given the arc length. So I'm going to use the arc length formula. Arc length is central angle at a 360 times 2 pi r. Okay, and the reason I'm using the arc length formula and not the sector area formula is because we don't know the sector area and we do know the arc length. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in everything I know for this formula. So I'm going to fill in my arc length, and I'm going to fill in the radius, and then we get this. Okay, so 5.46 is equal to n over 360 times 2 times pi times 1. My next step is to simplify all this. All right, so I have 2 times pi times 1. And that's all being, times n, and that's all being divided by 360. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the 2 times the pi times the 1 and divide that by 360. Okay, so that's calculator work. So I take my handy dandy calculator, and so 2 times pi times 1, but I'm not going to do times 1 because it's going to be the same thing, divided by 360, and that is equal to 0.0174532.9. It keeps going on for a while. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that number in my calculator. I'm going to use that, okay, but I'm just going to abbreviate it. I'm going to round it to like 3 or 4 decimal places, right? But when I'm doing my calculation, I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use the one that's in my calculator that's, written to like 18 decimal places. All right, so now algebraically, I have 5.46 is equal to n times 0.017. I want to get my n alone. And what's stopping it from being alone is the 0.017. So, and it's being multiplied by 0.017. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to divide by 0.017. And if I divide the right-hand side by 0.017, I have to also divide the left-hand side by 0.017. And that gives us... Now let's go and do that on the calculator, just so you can see exactly what to do. Okay, so I have this in memory. Okay, so, and then I'm just going to copy that. If you're using the calculator on the computer, you can do that. If you're using a handheld calculator, you have to store this in memory. Okay. So I'm going to press C to clear it, and 5.46 divided by, paste, Command V, and equals. And that gives me a much more accurate answer than if I just use 0.017. Okay, and that is my central angle. So my next step is central angle, and I put degrees here, is 312.83496, and round your answer to about 4 or 5 decimal places. Okay. Otherwise, the computer, because we're working with pi, the computer is going to look for a very, very small percent difference. Like I think it's like 1,000th of a percent between your answer and the computer's answer. Okay. So if you just chop it off, it won't be half the time the computer will say you're wrong. All right. So then we take our answer, and we go back to the program, and we enter our answer, which that was not. That was the, yeah, hold on. All right, so we enter our answer, and remember, we're going to round to like 4 or 5 decimal places. So the 6 is going to tell the 5 to round up to a 6, like that. And then we're talking about degrees, so remember to click degrees. Okay, and that's it. Yay, whippy indeed. All right, have a good day.